In the high-stakes world of semiconductor manufacturing, every decision echoes through global supply chains and national security corridors. Today, December 12, 2025, Intel stands at the center of a brewing storm. The company has been quietly testing advanced chip-making equipment from ACM Research, a move that's ignited controversy.
ACM Research, though based in California, operates heavily in China and is entangled in U.S. sanctions.
Intel's evaluation of ACM's tools isn't just technical. It's a calculated risk in the U.S. China tech rivalry.
The company's actions are under intense scrutiny from policymakers and security experts, as they could set a precedent for the entire industry.
With billions in government subsidies at stake, Intel's decision forces a tough conversation about balancing innovation with national security.
This single test could reshape the future of American chip-making.
To grasp Intel's dilemma, you need to understand the microscopic precision of semiconductor manufacturing. Wet etch tools, like those from ACM, are essential for sculpting the intricate circuitry on silicon wafers.
These machines use liquid chemicals to carve patterns at the atomic level. Any flaw can ruin an entire batch of chips.
As chip features shrink to just a few nanometers, the margin for error disappears.
The right tool can mean the difference between market leadership and costly failure.
Intel's interest in ACM's equipment is about staying ahead in a fiercely competitive industry.
Testing is rigorous. Only the most reliable tools make the cut for next-generation production.
The stakes are high. The future of Intel's manufacturing depends on these choices.
Intel's evaluation of ACM's tools is tied to its ambitious 14A chip-making process, set for launch in 2027.
Each new node packs more transistors into less space, pushing the limits of speed and efficiency.
Success means reclaiming leadership from rivals like TSMC and Samsung. Failure could cost billions.
Every tool, from lithography to wet etch, must perform flawlessly at this scale.
By testing ACM's tools now, Intel is preparing for the next leap in chip technology.
The inclusion of a new supplier could disrupt the established order and spark innovation.
But with ACM's ties to China, this decision is about more than just performance. It's a geopolitical flashpoint.
The controversy at the heart of ACM research revolves around its complex corporate structure and the depth of its operations in China. This isn't just a matter of business geography. It's about how deeply intertwined the company's US and Chinese arms have become over the years, blurring the lines between national interests and global commerce.
Although ACM Research is officially headquartered in the United States, the reality is that the majority of its research, development, and manufacturing takes place in Shanghai. This Chinese unit, now under U.S. sanctions, is central to the company's innovation pipeline, making the separation between the two entities more theoretical than practical.
U.S. officials allege that these Shanghai-based operations are not just commercial. They may also support China's military-civil fusion strategy. This has triggered serious national security concerns, as the technology developed could potentially be diverted for military use.
The sanctions imposed are designed to restrict the flow of advanced technology and equipment that could enhance China's military capabilities. These measures aim to close loopholes that might allow sensitive innovations to cross borders undetected.
Critics point out that given the high level of integration between ACM's US and Chinese teams, it's nearly impossible to draw a clear line between the two. The flow of knowledge, personnel, and intellectual property is constant, making regulatory oversight extremely challenging.
Intel's decision to test ACM's semiconductor tools, many of which are believed to be developed in Shanghai, places the company in a difficult position. Not only does this raise legal questions, but it also puts Intel at the center of a heated ethical debate about global technology transfer.
Even if transactions are routed through ACM's US entity, the underlying technology's Chinese origins remain a sticking point. This complicates compliance and raises doubts about the effectiveness of current export controls.
As a result, Intel has faced accusations of sidestepping not just the letter, but the spirit of U.S. sanctions. The company's actions are now under intense scrutiny from both regulators and the public.
The risks extend beyond legal penalties. There's a genuine fear that sensitive semiconductor technology could leak to China, either intentionally or through complex supply chains, further fueling geopolitical tensions.
Ultimately, Intel's choices in navigating this tangled web could set a precedent, shaping the future of the global semiconductor industry and influencing how technology companies operate across borders for years to come.
News of Intel's testing sparked immediate backlash from national security hawks in Washington.
Critics fear China is leveraging U.S. technology to challenge American dominance.
Intel's collaboration with ACM is seen as a dangerous gamble, risking technology transfer and sabotage.
Installing new equipment requires close cooperation, raising fears of trade secrets leaking to China.
There's also the nightmare scenario compromise tools with hidden backdoors, threatening U.S. chip production.
Using taxpayer subsidies to buy from ACM could undermine the domestic industry the CHIPS Act aims to protect.
In essence, Intel could be funding its own competition.
These concerns have turned a technical evaluation into a national security flashpoint.
The stakes are now political, with Congress and the White House watching closely.
ACM Research maintains that its US and Chinese operations are not just separated in name but in practice as well. The company emphasizes that American customers are exclusively served by US-based personnel, who operate independently from their Chinese counterparts. This strict division, they argue, is fundamental to their business model and compliance with US regulations. According to ACM, robust security protocols and internal firewalls are in place to protect sensitive client information. The company insists that these safeguards are regularly audited and updated to meet the highest standards. Furthermore, ACM categorically denies any involvement in supporting China's military or sharing restricted technology.
ACM presents itself as a global enterprise, navigating the complexities of international business, caught in the midst of rising geopolitical tensions. With an American CEO at the helm and a listing on the NASDAQ, the company highlights its commitment to transparency and adherence to U.S. business norms.
In a move to further reassure its American clients and partners, ACM established a dedicated service hub near Intel's campus in Oregon. This facility is designed to provide rapid, localized support and demonstrates the company's ongoing investment in its U.S. operations. The company asserts that all U.S. sales and services are managed domestically, with strict controls to prevent any improper transfer of technology or sensitive data abroad. ACM says these measures are part of a broader effort to build trust with American stakeholders.
To further demonstrate its commitment to transparency, ACM has publicly disclosed shipments of its semiconductor tools to major U.S. manufacturers. The company says these disclosures are intended to reinforce its legitimacy and openness in the global market.
Central to ACM's defense is the assertion that a robust firewall, both digital and organizational, exists between its US and Chinese divisions. This separation, they claim, is strictly enforced to prevent any unauthorized flow of information or technology.
However, critics remain skeptical, questioning whether such a complete separation is truly feasible in today's interconnected business environment. They argue that even the best safeguards can be tested by complex global operations.
The ongoing debate over ACM's bifurcated structure and its effectiveness lies at the very heart of the controversy, raising important questions about trust, compliance, and the future of global technology partnerships. Despite ACM's public assurances of compliance, the reality is that its business is deeply intertwined with China's rapidly growing chip industry, including several companies that have landed on US government sanctions lists. These connections are not just incidental, they are central to ACM's operations and growth strategy, making the company a critical player in the ongoing technology rivalry between the US and China.
In fact, the vast majority of ACM's revenue is generated in China, with major clients like YMTC and SMIC, two companies that have been linked to China's military and strategic ambitions. These firms are not just customers. They are at the heart of China's efforts to build a self-sufficient semiconductor supply chain, and ACM's technology is a key enabler for their progress.
SMIC alone accounts for a significant share of ACM's sales, providing a steady stream of revenue that directly supports entities flagged by U.S. authorities as national security risks. This relationship has drawn intense scrutiny from policymakers and industry observers who worry about the implications for global supply chains and security. ACM's client list doesn't end there. The company also supplies equipment to CXMT, a memory chip maker that was recently added to a U.S. Defense Department blacklist, further highlighting the depth of ACM's involvement with sensitive Chinese tech firms.
For officials in Washington, these extensive business ties are seen as clear evidence that ACM is not just a bystander, but an integral part of China's broader technological ambitions, raising questions about the effectiveness of export controls and sanctions.
The company's CEO, David Wang, is a unique figure in this story. He holds U.S. citizenship, but also permanent residency in China, and controls a majority of ACM's voting shares. His dual status gives him a rare perspective, but also places him at the center of the debate over ACM's true allegiances.
This dual allegiance only deepens concerns about where ACM's ultimate loyalties lie, especially as tensions between the U.S. and China continue to escalate in the tech sector.
For critics, ACM is seen as a key enabler of China's state-driven push for technological dominance, regardless of its official U.S. headquarters or public statements about compliance.
The company's complex structure, deep client relationships, and cross-border leadership continue to fuel a heated debate about its role in the global chip industry and the future of U.S. China tech competition.
The Intel ACM controversy unfolds as the U.S. government takes a more active role in the chip industry.
Intel, now a major recipient of CHIPS Act funding, faces new scrutiny over its supply chain decisions.
The CHIPS Act was designed to reduce reliance on foreign, especially Chinese technology.
Intel's potential use of ACM tools with Chinese ties appears to contradict the law's intent.
Lawmakers are moving to close loopholes, proposing bans on Chinese-made equipment for subsidized projects.
Congress wants to ensure taxpayer money strengthens the U.S. industrial base, not China's.
The executive branch is also watching, with bipartisan pressure mounting on Intel.
Even former President Trump has called for Intel's CEO to step down over the issue.
Intel's decision is now a political act, with its future support from Washington on the line.
The Intel ACM saga is a microcosm of the global chip industry's struggle between globalization and geopolitical rivalry.
Intel is caught between the lure of cheaper, competitive tools and the demands of national security.
ACM's equipment can be up to 30% less expensive than that of established US or Japanese rivals.
For Intel, cost savings are tempting, but the risks are enormous.
The U.S. China tech rivalry has turned the chip supply chain into a strategic battlefield.
The question: can companies serve both commercial interests in China and security interests in the U.S.?
As politics and business collide, every decision sends ripples through the industry.
Intel's final choice will signal the direction of the entire tech sector in this new era of competition.